Afternoon, my peoples. Afternoon, my peoples. Yep. Okay. I'm back and I'm in the office, y'all. This is the office. Y'all see all this right here? And y'all see this right here? That's the office. I'm in the office. Ah, man. I just wanted to tap in with y'all. I don't know how long this gonna be. Might be short, might be long. But I want to tap into y'all real quick. Let y'all know. Yesterday was a very good day, for what was going on. And it was probably meant a little more than what I give it credit for it to be. So yesterday was my niece's graduation. She graduated, top of her class from Renaissance 2025. Congratulations. I want to make sure I get that out the way. And she had a really, really, really good turnout after graduation. Everything was beautiful. It was nicely put. You should have seen it. Yes, graduated at the top of her class and everything. Hey, congratulations to her. Absolutely. Everybody did a good job. Everything was put in place. Food was great. The fruit table, candy table, the pictures, everything. It was great. So I want to make sure I get that out the way and make sure that I, send props to that first. And I want to also get out the way that now that I've talked to one of the people about what I'm about to talk to y'all about, now I can come and, explain to y'all what was so amazing that I seen yesterday. It was a couple of things. So, I was there. My daughter was there, and we were waiting on the rest of the people to arrive. And I noticed something, y'all. Like, when I tell y'all I noticed something, it was something that really, really grabbed. You know what I'm saying? And I couldn't believe it myself. So all week long, you know what I'm saying, there been like different things been happening. And this right here is the way that it worked. When you looking at the spirit part, it'd be different things that's going to jump in the way to kind of knock you off a track. And in this case right here, for me this week, it was when they did the police chase. It kind of threw me off of where I was trying to go with certain things. So I really couldn't get there. And so for a while, I could not connect with my son for anything. I know how to connect with him on the spirit end. It's a hit or miss, but I think I'm getting a little better at it. You know what I'm saying? But I've been asking to see him and asking to see him and asking to see him. And, at times I would see him, but it'd be out the peripheral. You know what I'm saying? It's like you would never see him head on. You will see him out your peripheral. And then after you look out your peripheral and you go to look because you know it's something there and you go to look, they ain't there no more. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't see this right here head on. You can't see them head on. In that state, you can't see them head on. You know what I'm saying? So it done been a couple of times where I've had that happen to me, and it'd be like, I know he's here because I know I just seen that. You know what I'm saying? I know he's here because I can hear it in the other room. Like, these pictures is not falling off the wall by themselves, and I know it sound crazy, man. It sound crazy, man, because that's the way I felt yesterday, man. I felt crazy. But not me. I didn't feel crazy, but when I turn around and look at everybody and who I wanted to share this with, I would have been the crazy one. But anywho, so here we is, fast forward, all week long. Now, the way that this right here works typically is you can't be on the low you can't be on a low vibration. Your energy cannot be low and expect to see these people that you want to see that has made it to the other end of the world. Okay? It doesn't work that way. You know, you got to be on a level that's high enough to where they can understand, because they not going to come back down here. You're going to have to go up there. That's why I always say do the work. So anyway, yesterday we get to the place where the decorations took place, like a little cabin or something that was rented. You know what I'm saying? Like a hall type of deal that was rented. And I was coming from my car. Now, mind you, at this point right here, excuse me, I wasn't coming from my car. I was coming from out the building to redirect my brother to where everybody was. And so his kids eventually, after he got, you know, wind of where we was, they come over there, his kids get out the car, they go out there and they running in the field with my daughter. When I tell y'all, I seen Junior out there, man, listen, when I tell you I seen him. Now, typically, you will see a person out the corner of your eye. You will see him out the corner of your eye. I seen him out there playing with them. You know what I'm saying? I seen this. And I know it was true. I know it was real. And I had a problem. And it kind of like, I was hoping that wouldn't nobody kind of like notice, but I kind of like it, that did something to me, because I'm going to tell you what that felt like when I seen them. Let me tell y'all what this feel like, just so y'all will know. If you ever had a dream that felt so real that you damn near woke up in tears, and in some cases you probably woke up in tears because that dream felt so real, that's because it probably more than likely, it was a feeling about it being real. Yeah, I had that feeling while simultaneously looking at him. And the problem was, this right here is a problem that I had, and it damn near took me out the game, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. Is because I couldn't project that from my physical eyes. He was there all day long. I had never seen this right here part before in my life. Now, this part I've never seen. I've seen out the peripheral. But I've never seen him just like really get out there and stretch it out. You know what I'm saying? With the kids and stuff. And I'm looking like this dude. I know this cannot be me. I know I'm not looking at what I'm looking at. And it felt so real, because it felt like the issue that I was having was, the issue that I was having was trying to make these eyes see it. That was an issue that I was having. I couldn't make these eyes see it. Everything else was there. Everything else was there. It was these eyes, and that right there is what killed me. Is because I know you there. I know it. I know it. You know what I'm saying? Just like you would know anybody else that's physically there. I know you were there 100%. I know it because I seen it. But it wasn't with these eyes, man. So I turned around. This is what I was telling you about earlier. I turned around to really look at who I could tell this stuff right here to. And there was nobody I could tell this to, because it wasn't the time for that. It wasn't the time for that. It was nobody I could tell this to without sounding crazy, or because the type of work that it takes to do this, and the type of understanding that you got to have of this right here, the type of work that's needed to be put in so you can understand this. When you turn around and you look at the people that you are surrounded by, you will see, and you will just know that there is no way they did that work. They can't understand you. They cannot understand you. They can't. And it's not necessarily their fault. It's just not their path. You know what I'm saying? So it's nothing that you can be mad at them about, but it's like, wow. And it's something that you had to hold in. You couldn't tell nobody. You know what I'm saying? So I slipped up and I told one person about it by accident. You know what I'm saying? I told another person on purpose, but I told another person by accident, because it was just something that kind of like slipped out. but the energy that come back from you saying something like that, your spirit tells you, shut this down. Don't go no further with that. Don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Shut this down. And you're going to shut this down right here because your spirit going to realize that you don't do that because they not there. They won't understand it either. You know what I'm saying? They won't understand it the way that you understand it. But when I tell you, I seen that boy, and I'm talking about I was looking at him. And I'm telling you, it was like, how can I put it? It was kind of like, if y'all ever seen The Lion King, when Simba seen Mufasa, but Simba know that he wasn't seeing him with these eyes right here. It was something almost similar to that right there. That's the closest way I can put it to you, to where you could visually see it, because my thing is to take what comes to me, and I'm trying to put it in a way to where you could visually see this right here, so you could know what these things look like. But yesterday, I didn't know what that right there had looked like, because that was the first time that ever had happened to me. I had never seen that. That boy was out there running and playing with them, and I had never seen that. And to say that to people that haven't did the work, you crazy. You crazy. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't just me just wanting to see him. It was there, so much to the point to where it was like, you ever know somebody that had passed on, you knew that they passed, but if you ever seen them again and you know that they had passed, it'd be like something that shocked you. It was almost like being like back from the dead almost. But the only thing was, I could not make the connection to make the projection to see out of these eyes. That's what I'm saying. I could not make that projection to see that. How was I able to see it? I had the slightest idea. I couldn't tell you. But I'm telling you what I saw. I'm telling y'all what I saw, man. And that was amazing. That was really amazing. And that was very deep for me, you know what I'm saying? Because now at that point, as you see this right here, it's like, it's like one to come and give you a big hug. It was a fight between the spirit and my physical at that point. That right there was really what it was. At that point for me, I felt like it was like really a fight between my spirit and my physical at that time, because that right there is what was making it hard for me. And it almost got to the point to where I felt like I was about to, just bring the house down. You know what I'm saying? But I couldn't do that at that point. It was like putting me in a pickle, because I'm around all these people and stuff like that. It was like being forced to have to hold that in. It was like, man, that was crazy. That was crazy to have to see that right there. It was crazy. Like this wasn't no dream. That's the way it was. It was like having that dream that was so real, but this time you wide awoke and you're not daydreaming. That's the thing. You're not daydreaming. You wide awoke and you seeing this stuff right here. And the only thing that's preventing you from really grabbing on to it, if you ain't did it, is because you just you can't physically see it, but you can physically see them with your spirit eyes. If that make any sense. I know it sound crazy. Listen. I know it sound crazy. This stuff sound crazy. Y'all, it sound crazy, but it's not crazy. This stuff is real. I'm telling you. And so, when that feeling that you get, it was like having all of the kids there, like all the kids, like they wasn't missing nobody. But because I seen him there, I seen him. And like I said, it was just, at that point, it was just a fight of trying to now see him with these eyes, because I was literally in a battle. You know, I was literally in a battle between, am I seeing what I'm seeing? You know, it's kind of like a mirage type of deal. I guess, to say the least. It was kind of like a mirage type of deal. You know what I'm saying? I guess that's the best way to put it. Kind of like a mirage. If that's what you want to look at it at on the physical end, or I don't know. I told y'all, sometimes you just can't explain this stuff, okay? That's why I'm trying to explain it to the best way that I seen it. But sometimes you just can't explain this stuff. You got to live it. That's why I say you can't just know this stuff. You got to know it and you got to live it. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully more come. Hopefully more come, because that right there, it was shocking. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was shocking. It was shocking what I seen. That struck me so down to the core. It was like, nah, no way. And I'm looking again. I'm you know what I'm saying? I'm blinking my eyes. I'm all type of stuff like you would see on the cartoons, how they, you know, blink their eyes and they wipe they, you know, I was on some stuff like that, like on some Looney Tune cartoon type stuff, y'all. I'm trying to tell you. So it's like, now that it seemed like now that I had put that, the chase and all that other stuff that I was, you know, talking about, and when I put all that stuff on the back burner and jumped back on track to the stuff that I'm talking about now, it was like I started to see more of it now. You know what I'm saying? I got threw off for a minute because I recognized the demon and then I gave it attention. That's what happened. You know what I'm saying? When that car came speeding up the street. But when I said what I had to say about that and then shift right back to where I was, now I was able to see a little bit more. That's what it came off to me. Because I wasn't seeing this right here before. I didn't see this right here before. I haven't seen it all summer long. I mean, all spring long. I done been back there in the backyard, all type of stuff. Not to that degree that I seen, like I said, out the corner. Okay, but head on, never, ever have I just seen this right here just head on. You know what I'm saying? It was like, not to that degree. Not to where you out there running and playing with everybody else. I had never seen that. I've seen it in the bed. I ain't seen it, but it, like I said again, the little footsteps, you pay attention to that right there. It's certain things that when you done lost a loved one, it's just certain things that you would pay attention. And if they got a childlike spirit, it's certain childlike things that you just pay attention to. You know what I'm saying? Around you. You know what I'm saying? And them right there will be indications that that loved one is still with you. You know what I'm saying? Through the little things that a kid would do that you ain't see nobody do, that you know that just happened. Man, this world right here is something else that I'm explaining. It take you a little bit everywhere. That spirit gonna run you a little bit everywhere. I'm telling you, this world that I'm talking about. I'm telling you, and then it was like being around a lot of people. It was great. It was great to be around a lot of people. It was a lot of love. It was a lot of everything, man. But after seeing something like that and not being able to really go down in depth of what you seen or at least try to, man, listen, being around a lot of people, you feel so lonely, man. You feel so alone. It's a lonely feeling. It doesn't matter who around. That's why I keep on telling y'all. That's why it feel like the majority of the time I always say, probably you gonna hear me say it at least once throughout my videos. You know what I'm saying? You gonna go down this path and you gonna go down this path alone. Because when it hits you like that right there, it hits you in a way where you not paying attention. When you just doing your own thing. You know what I'm saying? You be minding your own business. You know what I'm saying? That's when it hit you. You know what I'm saying? This right here is when the stuff, you know, like you be off into la la land somewhere, you know, just trying to do your own thing, going throughout your regular course of a day, and you look up and you see something like that, and it's like, what? You know what I'm saying? Almost like Scar looked at Simba when he returned. But there was no physical Simba there. You know what I'm saying? It was like, man, that is crazy. But those are the things that you have to pay attention to when those close people, you know what I'm saying, when they transfer, you know, to the other side, when they at the end of their transition, if they was around you like that, it's just certain things that you have to pay attention to. And you're not going to pay attention to it always with the physical, because the spirit going to hit you first. And then you're going to pay attention. In some cases, that spirit might not hit you first. What might get your attention is that glass that fell off that counter, fell out the kitchen rack. You know what I'm saying? Something loud that grabs your attention that you know what nobody around to do. The little stuff that you would hear. You could write it off. It might sound like a critter, you know what I'm saying? You could write it off as it being some type of insect or rodent or something like that. But if you know those things aren't in your house, hey, it's just little pointers. It's just little things that you got to pay attention to. These things ain't going to always just jump out and bark out like that. It's some things that will. And when it do, that right there, them going to be the easy ones. When the ones that jump out and bark out at you, you know what I'm saying? That just is when you least expect it, is when, you know, is when it catch you off guard. And that bad boy sent a pulse through your chest, baby. Listen, I don't want to say this because it's not scary, okay? It's not scary. But have a shock ever went through your heart, through your chest, so hard that it felt like your heart just stopped beating a couple of times or something like that? Like, it took some time to register for a minute? Did that ever happen to you before? Like somebody gave you some shocking news, or something happened and it was just like a big light bulb or something come on, and it was like, like, I don't know how to tell y'all, man. I don't know. Shit, I don't know. But that's the way it was. That was enough confirmation that I needed. That was enough confirmation that I needed. I talked to another source about this right here, okay? And when I talked to this other source about it, this other source told me that I gave her confirmation about what I just told y'all because she asked for him to be there. She asked for him to be there. And I called this person up out the blue and just told this person what I seen, because that is the one person I know will understand exactly what I was talking about without me feeling stupid in the process, without me feeling some type of way. Because I'm going to tell you something. Like I said, with this right here being a lonely road for y'all, and y'all going down this path, for some of y'all that go down this path right here, with y'all going down this right here path, sometime this right here gonna feel crazy. It's gonna feel lonely. I just heard that. But it's gonna feel like a lonely path for some of y'all. I'm telling you, and if you're not careful, you could feel crazy. You could feel a certain way in doing this right here, man. You're going to feel a certain way. And the crazy thing about it is, when you look around and try to get confirmation from other people, like, is this what you're doing? They ain't even going to know what you're doing, man. And because it's something that's going to be new to you as well, that you learning yourself, and they not going to know. And then that's when you're going to look around and say, hey, wait a minute. You know more than what they know. You can't even turn and look at these people for the help because you know where you are. That's why I say do it alone, because only you know where you are. Only you know where you are. You know how far you can go with other people and how far you can go with telling people these things right here, man. Only you gonna know that. You know, at least to the degree of your next step and what you need to do, you know, to you know, make your next move, you know, period. Like, you gonna know this right here. And so it's like another thing that we seen. I wish I had took a picture of it myself. I probably did, but I will have to come up off of this right here in order to get it because of the way that I'm doing this video. But I seen a moth. It looked like a butterfly. I'm talking about, when I tell y'all, I don't know the name of this moth, but it was pretty too. It had like some really colorful, it looked like a butterfly. I'm talking about the design on this bad boy was out cold. It was pretty. If I get a chance to get it, because my niece took a picture of it, but I thought it was a butterfly. She told me it was a moth. And when I tell you this butterfly, man, listen, it was this moth right here was about almost 2 to 3 times the size of your average butterfly that you would see, your big butterfly that you would see. It was almost 2-3 times that size. I thought it was a butterfly. It was a moth, and it wasn't moving. It wasn't going nowhere. Everybody was around it. It spread its wings for a minute, I guess, for us to see its colors, but we didn't bother it, man. And when I looked it up, it said something about a spiritual alignment or something like this. Now, this was after I seen my son. I didn't see the butterfly thing at first, the moth at first. So when we took a picture of it, because, you know, sometimes when y'all see stuff, y'all can go to Google and go to the Google lens and snap the picture, and then it'll give you a whole list of stuff about what that could mean. You can go to the spiritual meaning of that right there, or the spirit meaning of that right there. You know what I'm saying? And see what that mean. You know what I'm saying? And see if it line up to what came to you. You know what I'm saying? Not to everybody else. Again, this right here is self-work. That's what we doing. We doing self-work, and we trying to heal, but we gotta heal through ways that's comfortable, knowing that our loved one on the other end is okay. And that is not what we thought it was. That this death thing that we thought it was is not that. You know what I'm saying? There's only that in the physical. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's only that in the physical. It's only that up here. You know what I'm saying? When that's going to trick you at times by what you see right here if you haven't did the work up here. That's why I tell y'all, be careful. Because when you're doing this right here, again, discipline, willingness, and discernment. I tell y'all, those right there are going to be major key things that you're going to need to know that you're not crazy. And you ain't going to be able to go off of other people's assessments, especially ones that ain't went down that road. Because this right here, this content right here is going to reach somebody that don't get it. And they're going to tell you that I'm crazy. They're going to say he crazy and this, that, and the other. They might have to try to take what I'm saying and twist it up and make it seem like something wrong with you. And it's just because he lost his son. And this is the type of stuff that crazy people go through and all this other stuff. No, you not crazy. If you in my shoes, you not crazy. You not crazy. And I don't take no hard drugs. I don't take no hard drugs at all. I don't take no pharmaceuticals. I don't do none of that. Okay? I don't do none of that. Herbal essence, baby. If you smell what I'm cooking, you know, as far as that right there goes. But all that other stuff, I don't do that. So you can't say it's the drugs. You know what I'm saying? You can't write it off with it just being the drugs. You know what I mean? You can't just write it off with it being that. I'm telling you what you need, well, what I did and what I needed to have in order for this right here to work. So I had to be, in order for me to see the stuff that I was seeing yesterday, I had to be, and I was though, for real. I was feeling good. I was feeling good yesterday, but I ain't know that I was feeling good to that degree to where I could see that right there. That was actually excellent right there. That right there was really good. And I don't know if it was because he was around the other kids or what, but it was really good to hear. It was really good to hear. It was really good to see. I mean, that was a really good thing to see. And like I said, when I did, I will admit this right here, y'all. I did the very thing that I tell y'all not to do. You know what I'm saying? I did the very thing I told y'all not to do. And you know what that was? My energy level didn't drop. It did something to my energy, but it made me feel like, it was like a joyful cry, but it was a cry, and I didn't want to do that, but that's the way it make it feel. And when you get to that point right there, sometimes they just go away. And I didn't want that to happen, but it was starting to happen, and it just wasn't going away, and he didn't go away and none of that stuff, but I didn't allow it to happen though. I didn't allow it to happen. That stuff right there is kind of crucial. So that's part of what that's part of the discipline right there. That's not discernment. That's discipline right there. When you have to hold back that feeling like you almost want to bust out and cry. You know what I'm saying? For seeing what you just seen. It's like if you just seen somebody that you ain't seen in a long time. Maybe you seen somebody that you thought had passed on for a long time, and then they come back and you see them and you like, wait a minute, you not dead? Like what? Like for years, people thought you was gone and all this other stuff. It's like, nah. And the crazy part is typically when you are on a high vibrational level, you will feel it. That's why I said you will feel it within your physically, you will feel it in your chest area when you feeling good. You will just feel it good. It'll just be all in your rhythm and everything. Especially when you feel it in your spirit. You know what I'm saying? It's all about how you regulate your spirit. You know what I'm saying? You got to regulate your spirit. Your spirit got to be disciplined. It got to be, and it's about how you go by doing it. Because again, free will is still at play. And all this stuff, free will is at play. So I could accept that, hey, wait a minute, that was just my eyes. You know what I'm saying? That was just my eyes. I'm just seeing stuff. You know what I'm saying? We already know. And nope. Absolutely not. I know what I was looking at, and I'm willing to put my last dollar on it. I'm willing to put my last dollar on. That's how sure I am. You know what I'm saying? Of what I seen. That's how sure I am. I take everything down to the way I came into this world, butt, booty, naked, and wager everything on the line to say that that's what I seen. That's how sure I am. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that when y'all hear me on these videos, y'all see me on these videos and stuff like that, just take what you need out of it. Take what you need. If it help you, take what you need out of it. If it helps somebody else, give it to them. Let them take what they need out of it, man, because there's other ways to heal than crying. Because again, I told y'all, you can only do so much crying. And eventually one spirit kick in and tell you no matter how much crying you doing, it ain't going to bring that person back. Once you get that right there, hey, and you move to the next phase and face the pain of the next phase if it comes with that. Because typically once you done face the hardest part, it's not pain no more. It's more so, it ain't even really grief. I don't know what you want to call it. Is when stuff start coming to fruition, it's almost like happiness or something like that, or joy, but it comes with tears as well. Some type of almost feeling like you want to bust out in tears as well. But it's not because you sad. But when you see that loved one, is like you wish that they were really there so you could hug them, but you know they there and you can't hug them physically, But if you, man, I'm getting lightheaded, y'all. Ooh, I'm getting lightheaded. Yeah. Yeah. It's just it's a wrestle. It's a wrestle. I ain't playing when you, that's crazy. But again, man, that is just me going through that right there though. Y'all ain't going through that. Y'all don't see that. That's just me at this point from y'all. That's just me. So when you say, no, that's just him. Yeah, it is. It's just me. And that's the way it's going to be when if this stuff ever strike y'all the way it does me, because for some people, this right here don't never hit them and they stay in grief and sorrow forever. It never hit them. It never hit them. They can't think that far, or if they do, they think it's something demonic or it's something evil. It's not. It's not. It's something else that you just can't explain. You really can't. You really can't. I wish I could explain it a little bit more better. I'm not playing. I wish I had I really do. I wish I had the words. I wish I had the vocabulary for this. I mean, if I could just take that part out for what I seen, if I could just take that part out and just put it on projection, y'all could see what I was talking about. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. You would see what I was talking about. And I'm pretty sure there's been other people that done seen the same thing at some point in time dealing with something like this right here, and they can't explain it to y'all either. I'm going to tell you, they can't explain it to y'all either. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to find a way where I could put this stuff in words. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to find a way where I could put this stuff into words to where it don't even sound crazy to the crazy people. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I had to talk to y'all about yesterday, y'all. Today. About yesterday. That was very interesting, man. That was very interesting. That was very interesting, man. And I don't know what I got to do to make that happen again. But when stuff like that happen to y'all and you recognize it, that right there, whatever you got to do to make that happen again, that right there in and of itself right there, that right there is the work. If you want to know how to how to look to do the work, that part right there. Whatever it was that you recognized, because that's what made me start to do the work. When I start paying attention and recognizing stuff, whatever it was that I recognized, I zero in on that right there. That's what I do. I zero in on it and keep on and keep on. Then once you get certain confirmations around you that confirm what it was that you already pretty much knew, in your mind it was thinking, physically you was thinking, then that's when you move to the next step. You move to the next phase. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you might have to get more than one confirmation. Sometimes you might have to get more than one confirmation. But when you know it's confirmed, you go to the next step. And every confirmation that you get, and every step that you move forward, this stuff right here go in your subconscious library. Man, before you know it, you be using some of this stuff that you didn't, you forgot about. Sometimes you've been forgot about some of this stuff right here, and you be using it out your subconscious. And that's why I be trying to tell y'all, be careful what you put in your subconscious. Be careful of what you say out your mouth, because that stuff goes into your subconscious and you play it out later on in life. And then you turn around and call it karma. Karma is just a reaction from what you did to the universe. That don't necessarily equal up to something bad, because people got good karma, if that's what you want to say. So, yeah. So, I be doing my lives, y'all, and I'll never give no shout out to the people that say hello, like Angelique. Hey, Angelique. Hey, Auntie Dancing. I see what's going on, cuz. So yeah, again, I didn't know how long drawing out this right here was gonna be. I didn't want to make it too long. I chopped this up in many ways. So hopefully those that have a hard time understanding or grabbing what I'm saying, hopefully you can get it or at least make an attempt. Hey, just try it. Just try it. Just like I told y'all before. Like if, I gave y'all the tip before. If you want to see them before they go to bed. You know what I'm saying? I mean, before you go to bed, if you want to see them, hey, pictures and videos, 10, 15 minutes in entire state before you get ready to go to bed. Hey, it's a good chance you're going to see somebody. You're going to see somebody. Trust that. You're going to see somebody. I can almost guarantee you're going to see somebody. You might have a target, but you're going to see somebody. And then, trust me, be ready for it. Be ready for it. And so that's what I'm going to do. If this right here happened again, I'm going to work on not feeling that way again. So hopefully I could work on it and master it down to a science to where it's like he not even buried, man. He not even buried. He right here. And I know he right here because I'm looking at him and this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. And try to stay connected. Try not to let negativity jump in the way. It's going to come, and it's going to come in many different ways. It's going to come in many different avenues, man, through many different people, many different situations, and it's up to you to recognize it so you could use better discernment, and then you will be able to control the ending of that outcome. Because I don't know if y'all know this or not, and I'm going to say this before I get off. Each and every last person to the sound of my voice, you got the power to control the outcome of the situation. I'm going to say it again. You have the power. Each and every person have the power to control the outcome of a situation if you use discernment and you use discipline and follow your spirit. Okay? With that right there, I'm going to leave y'all alone for today. And I'll come back with y'all when on the next video. Hey, Uncle Ronnie is on the YouTube. Like, share, subscribe for more content like this, y'all, on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe, and share this video on Facebook. Share it to everybody that you can that might need this right here. Because I'm going to tell y'all something. I haven't heard too many people really speak out like this right here. So hopefully more people start speaking out, man. Hopefully more people would, because I'm not crazy, man. I'm telling you I'm not crazy. But like I said, just go check me out over there, and I'll get with y'all a little later.